Hey, y'all, listen. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Come on now, people. Come in the building and hit the like button. Now I'm going to tell y'all straight up. Straight up. I'm going to tell y'all like it is right here, right now. Buckle your seatbelts. Buckle your seatbelts because we got to talk about it. Buckle your seatbelts. This is a mess. It is March 13th. Today is my sister's birthday. My oldest sister. Today is her birthday. So happy birthday, sis. But buckle your seatbelt is all I can say. They are not letting up off of Diddy's neck. They're not. They're coming for him. And he got the nerve to say can't stop, won't stop. Well, guess what? They can't stop and they won't stop until they see him clinked up. They coming for his neck. Yeah, they are. He got so many lawsuits out now, it's hard to keep up. But this one, Liza Gardner, and talk about saying your name. She said her name. She said, know what? You're not going to get me on this or that. I'm putting my name out there. She amended her lawsuit against him. So whatever her lawyers had, his lawyers had, to kind of say to her, get out of here with this lawsuit. You was complicit. You wanted it, whatever the case may be. She leveled up, came back, and said, I don't care what y'all say. Because the time this happened to me, I couldn't consent. I was only 16. Well, she trumped Diddy and his lawyers. So all I can say is, woo, woo, woo. We're going to talk about it. They coming for Diddy. 2024 is going to be a hellish year for Diddy. Brother Love, Sean Combs. And because I love the kids. His other kids, at least they're kind of age, and so to speak, they're at least in their teenage age years. They had a good time and a good life with their daddy. Baby Love, my heart breaks for Baby Love, and she's a doll face. She's going to grow up in a time period where her dad, unfortunately, is going to be known as a predator. She's going to grow up in a time period where, unfortunately, she may have to say, Daddy, I love you, through a collect call on the phone. You know, Suge Knight got a podcast on YouTube. Collect calls from Suge. Well, we might get collect calls from Diddy soon. Now, I predicted September of this year, but the way things are going, ooh, they may be picking him up earlier. But they're coming for Diddy. Then we got to talk about George Foreman. George Foreman is 75. Imagine, because boxing is a rough sport. They get knocked upside their head so much, they don't know left from right. George Foreman named all of his sons George. George the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth. So they up in the house. Mama say George. They like, which one? Who you want, Ma? Me? Number 2, number 3, who you want, Ma? He named all the boys George. Well, in his tender years at 75, he should be chilling because he's a pastor now, got a whole church, all of that. He should be chilling, living his best life. But a family member, not just anybody. This person is listed as Jane Doe too. A family member is accusing him of SA. Yes, she is. And she said she felt unprotected and unloved at the time. That's why she didn't say anything. But now she got the courage. And now because of that new Survivors Act, she was able to file her civil case. And she said, you destroyed my life. You took away my innocence. You had to go to therapy. A lot of individuals that are violated, whether they're young or older, they almost live their whole life in therapy. So she says her life was destroyed. And now she got the courage to sue. And he's talking about he don't know, didn't do it, this, that, and the other. And he asked, because he said his doctors and everybody else is in Texas. Because this happened in 1974 in LA. He's asking, can you move this case to Texas? No, I live in LA. I'm the victim. Get on the plane, your private jet with the oxygen, your heart medication, your cholesterol medication, and speak to your doctor on Zoom. But no, this case had to happen here in California where this crime happened. So we're going to talk about George Foreman being on the list now of predators. Then we got Jenifer Lewis from Blackish. She also was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She got a whole lot of accolades under her belt. Shout out to Jenifer Lewis. Black Hollywood. A true actress. She know how to make her money. She's not doing a Taraji in these streets. Talking about, I was in a rat-infested trailer and I'm broke. No, Jenifer Lewis is in her mansion. When Blackish ended, she said, I'm going to retire. She took her and a friend. They went on an African safari trip. She was doing tours with the lions, the tigers, and the bears. Living her best life and taking pictures. Then she said she went to the hotel. And I noticed in this clip, y'all going to see it. She said the hotel didn't give her a tour. She should have got a tour. I said, whoa, 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 she going to sue. So she said they had a swimming pool on what looked like the balcony. It was something like that. She went to walking out there on the balcony. Next thing you know, she said she fell 10 feet. She was down there. She couldn't move her body. It was a mess. But she's a survivor. But you know why I'm showing this story? I'm showing this story because Jenifer Lewis, and I gotta look up her age. I forgot her age. If somebody tell me her age in the chat. Jenifer Lewis says, if you fall down, get up. That's why I'm going to show her message. Some people are out here crying over the littlest thing. She fell 10 feet. She had to learn how to walk again. She said after the therapist left her house, the therapist was coming to her house 2 hours a day. She said come on now with the 67, come on. At 67, she fell 10 feet down. She said the therapist was coming to her house 2 hours out the day. And she said when they left, she kept working out. She said for 8 hours a day, she worked out because she was going to walk again. Holla at Jenifer Lewis. She's writing a book. When the book come out, now I don't know if I'm going to be able to read it or whatever the case may be, because y'all know me, I'm behind in my reading. But I'm going to buy the book. I'm supporting. Because because you know what? I'm sorry, y'all got to silence my phone here. At 67, she fell 10 feet. She could not walk. But she said, I got up. Holla. Somebody put hashtag get up. You know, listen, I believe in God. I can't quote the Bible verbatim. But there is a story in the Bible where Jesus says, I think it was Lazarus, pick up your bed. Get up. Some of us are crying and we could see, we could walk, we could talk, and we crying, woe is me. At 67, she fell 10 feet and she got up. Buckle your seatbelts, people. We got to talk to y'all today. Some of y'all are the walking dead. Y'all gave up on life, your dreams, your family, yourself, your house, everything. Y'all gave up. I'm going to need y'all to get up. Live your life. Pursue your dreams. Come on now. Until God calls me home, I'm going to run after and chase my dreams. And day by day, minute by minute, I'm catching them. Now I'm about to live. I'm living my life. Some people, they just wake up complaining. They go to sleep complaining. And their whole history of their life is one big complaint. You call them, they never good. They always sad. Somebody always did something to them. They not forgiving so-and-so. They not doing this. They not doing that. It's just a sad existence. I don't have enough money. They just complain. Nobody, woe is me. When will it be my turn? It's going to be your turn when you get up and you start living and you pursue your dreams and you get your life together. And don't start tomorrow. Start right now. When I heard her story, I said, no, the physical therapist left and she said she worked out without the physical therapist because she was determined to walk. You got to be determined. You got to want this thing. And you got to stick to your story. Stop looking to the left. Stop looking to the right. Stop saying, oh, this person, they started with me. Now they hiding me. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to get it. I don't care. I congratulate you. You started before. I'm happy for you. I know my time is going to come. I'm here. And I won't stop. Now, before I bring the people up and load this train, I heard news today that almost had me fall off my seat. It broke my heart. I just was like, oh, can I give y'all this tip today? If you look like me, what do I mean by that? If you a black, brown person, I don't care how much money you make. You better know this and understand this. I was taught this by my family. You will never be able to do what they do. Because if you go do what they do, you will get locked up and they will still be free. So don't be a fool. You at work, everybody showing up late. You better show up on time because you look like me. You at work, nobody doing their work. You better not join that crowd. You better sit at that computer and do your work and do some extra work because you look like me. And you can sit there all day long and say, oh, it ain't right, it ain't right, it ain't right. Ain't nothing right. But I'm telling you, you better sit there and do what they paying you to do, because if you do like them, you will be out of the job and they still will be there. I told you this story before and I'm about to board this train. When I worked in the hospital, the first shift I had was a night shift. I am not a night person. It was 7 p.m. at night to 7 a.m. in the morning. The first thing I did is inquire with the people, how y'all doing this? I'm dying. Eyes are batting. I'm drinking latte after latte after latte to stay up. And then when I got home the next morning, I would sleep all the way until it was time for me to get up and go to my next shift. I felt like I was sleeping my life away. Then they told me the inside secret. They said, oh, we don't stay up the whole shift. We go to sleep. Go to sleep? What are we talking about? We take naps. We take turns taking naps. You could take a turn taking a nap too. They used to beg me to do it. Take a nap. Why? Because what happens is once they get you in that crew of taking a nap, now if something goes down, we all going to go down together because we all taking a nap. Well, guess what? Diva didn't take no nap. No, I did not. No, ma'am. I did not. I drank a latte. That's when I got addicted to my little lattes and my teas. And I stayed up for my 12 hours, not taking no nap. Because when they come for y'all, I ain't going to be in a bunch. Because I never took a nap. So it's the same thing with those FO parties. He had calling cards. He had invitations. And he went around to the people in Black Hollywood and everywhere else, everybody in between. And he would send you videos. Say, you like this? 8 o'clock, my house. Then they had a secret society. If you really get down with the get down, just wear some white nail polish and then we're going to know. I'll see you. We won't even have to say a word. I'm going to know you down with the get down and I'm going to give you the info on where to go and how you're going to get in. So now once they have you in, you got to forever shut your mouth, because if you talk, I'm going to be able to say, well, yeah, you was a part of it, so you got some nerve. So how do you get away with stuff for so long? Because you got secrets. Secrets keep you sick. It's secrets. It's lies. It's sex, lies, and videotapes. Because they said he loved to have his film, like R. Kelly. Love to have the video. So just in case I thought I was going to get my life together and act like I was never a part of that society, there's a videotape out there that many people probably have that approve that I was there. Come on, Q. Thank you for the super chat. Same goes for the office gossip. Don't participate. Educate the people. Get up and walk away, because otherwise your name won't be in it. That's education for y'all right there. Thank you, Q. I appreciate you. No, I don't. I learned the hard way. I shut my mouth. I don't get in it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care about it. I'm like, no, I'm good. Diva, you want? Nah, I don't want it. I'm good. Can you want to see it? No, I do not. Did you hear about so-and-so? No, I'm about to go shopping and you see these shoes I'm about to buy? No, that's right, Q. Stay out of it. And then once your name is in it, they twist it up and they'll be like, you the one started the rumor. You like, what? I ain't starting up. Well, she the one that told me. But by the time the information get down the line, you're being accused. Now I don't talk too much. Y'all let me talk too much. Somebody should have told me, shut up, Diva, and load the train. Y'all know what I need in that chat, right? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. I told you already. Buckle your seat belts, okay? It's called Survivors and Predators, and we about to talk about it. If you feel like you're going to catch feelings, then don't catch this train. If you feel like you're going to be a little sensitive because we're going to have to get down with the get down and we're going to do some education, then I think you should just leave. But if you're ready for tonight, buckle your seatbelt, because I'm about to board the train and bring the people on in. So hold on one second, everybody. Come on, we boarding this train. Hey, Leo.
Hey, won't stop. Don't stop.
Come on now. And he didn't stop, right?
And he will not stop. Okay.
He won't stop till the feds come and clink his behind up.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Listen.
Hello, y'all. Choo, choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo. Come on now. We getting into it. We're going to talk to the people. I'm going to start out with this Jenifer Lewis story, because it's the lightest story. When I saw this, it really touched my heart. She a queen. I love her. And she got drama for days. She got drama for days. Hold on, everybody. Let me share this screen. Let me see where she's at. Okay, let's see. Oh, did it? There we go. All right.
About a harrowing experience, revealing that she fell 10 feet off of a balcony while on a trip of a lifetime. This morning, I have a preview of our conversation.
Here I am, the mother of Black Hollywood. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Did you see me walk down them steps? I did see you walk down the steps. Oh, my queen.
The warmest and most expected welcome from Ms. Jenifer Lewis, the lady known to make you laugh.
When was your birthday? January 25th, month after Jesus. So anyway, don't you love it?
Preparing how she knows best to share a serious personal revelation for the first time. In one word, finish this sentence. This past year has been
the hardest.
the last year challenging for Jenifer, who in 2022 says she was sitting on top of the world, celebrating the finale of the long-running hit comedy show Blackish.
I am gonna miss you, Rainbow.
Blackish has just wrapped up. You didn't know what you were going to do, and you thought, oh, maybe this is time for me to ride off into the sunset.
I was gonna retire and move back home. I conquered a dream. I had traveled around the world and life was wonderful.
Jenifer, reveling in her notable career as an entertainer on the big stage.
Good old Aunt Jemima. Now that's a strong woman. I never saw her with a man.
And in 90s cult classics like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Boom, boom.
Her famed high kicks making the rounds, including on GMA. The multi-talented Jenifer Lewis. To celebrate her new book release. Little did anyone know, 2 months later, while on a trip of a lifetime, her life flashing before her eyes. Let's go to November 2022. You are the queen of adventure. Now, you love an adventure.
Yeah.
And you are going to Africa. You go from Cape Town
To Rwanda.
to Rwanda.
I went up in the mountains with the gorillas. That was real scary. But it does give you a sense of fearlessness and courage. We're having a good time, you know, we're feeling a lot. We're going where the real people are.
And now you're heading to the Serengeti.
Yes.
What were you most looking forward to?
Oh, the safari. I mean, when you're looking at these animals, when you see 4 lionesses coming with those big claws and the paws and their beauty, you're looking at the face of God. Well, this is the migration. We're so lucky.
Yeah, migration.
They're gone across the road, the wildebeest, they're moving on.
You're there at the Serengeti, at the hotel. Your friend Lori has gone to her room. It's the end of the first day there. What happened next at the hotel?
Well, the sun set. And when the sun sets in the Serengeti, there are no street lights. It is pitch black. I was escorted to the lodge, my room, but I wasn't given a tour. I should have been given a tour. I laid out my safari clothes, and I saw the infinity pool out on my deck. So I went out. I was just taking in the fact that I was back in the Serengeti once again, and I'm walking, and all of a sudden, boom, I had fallen 10 feet into a dry ravine full of boulders and stones and sharp rocks. Robin, I fell.
Off the balcony into that ravine.
Yes. There was a space that was not sectioned off. and there was no sign that said caution. 10 feet drop.
What kind of pain were you experiencing?
Well, of course, I was in shock. My right hip took the impact. My shoulder went up against a stone. A lightning bolt went through my mind's eye right here. In pitch black, I didn't know I was falling. Nothing would move. So I laid there. I said, move your body, baby. Come on, Jenny, move your body. And then I called for my friend Lori. It was hard to even take a big breath to scream.
And you're in the middle of the Serengeti. There are animals.
There are wild animals. Because when Lori shined her flashlight down there, she didn't know there was a Cape buffalo 10 feet away. And when Lori ran to get help, I heard a lion roar. My last thought, because I am Jenifer Lewis, was what a headline. The king ate the queen. Oh. Pieces of Jenifer Lewis's body is being flown back to the States.
Ooh. And thankfully, of course, that did not happen. That is just a portion of.
Now listen, I will bring it up and show you in a little bit. I want to start to go around. But on TMZ, she said, get up. Get up. I'm going to pull that video for y'all in a minute. I mean, incredible strength. She was in the hospital for a while. Then they had to fly back to the States. She had to learn how to walk again. And she said the physical therapist came to the house 2 hours out the day. And the rest of the time, she worked herself out. Determination. She also said, I was in shape before that fall. And she said that helped me get through that fall. Leo, you're up.
This is unbelievable. It is not even something you could even possibly imagine. Mm-hmm. To go on vacation in the Serengeti, walk out to your balcony. Where the banisters at? What we doing here? What's happening? And drop 10 feet. God bless that woman. You can tell her inner strength and her inner integrity that she just turned 67. That means in January. So she was 66 when this happened. And I'm telling you, at almost 51, if I drop 10 feet, y'all might as well start flower bringing and slow singing and walking slow behind me, because I might not make it. I'm just telling you. 10 feet and hit the damn ground. God bless this woman. And look, if you get your mind made up that this is what you're going to do, the deep strength of inner will to will something to existence, she said, I'm going to walk again.
Yep.
And her strength and will, by the grace of God, she was able to make that happen. And I would sue them people for everything they got.
You noticed she said it real nice. She said I was supposed to get a tour.
I would have sued them people for whoever escorted me. Look, y'all ain't even come and tell me that the balcony ain't had no banisters and it's dark outside. Where they do that at?
Where they do that at?
Africa.
In the Serengeti.
In the Serengeti. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Let me just play this for you. She said, when we fall down, but we get up. Let me just see if this will play. All right, I'll come back and play when I get a chance. In my opinion, you're up. I don't know why I won't play. I want you to see this, though.
Nothing but the grace of God that kept her, and that strong will that she has that keeps her going and going and going. It's amazing, because one of my favorite quotes is, if you're determined to stand, nothing can move you. If you move, nothing can stop you. determination is always the key. And so I'm telling everybody else out there, be determined to do whatever it is that you want to do. And if you determined, it won't let them stop you.
Thank you, in my opinion. I appreciate you. Felicia, when I was hearing her speak, and this isn't a good way, I swear to goodness, I thought about you.
Me
Just
too. Me
right?
too. It reminded me of Felicia.
When you
It
say
really
like
did.
good evening, everybody, I don't know why. I thought of you when I heard her speak. Hold on one second, guys. Give me a minute, and then I'm coming to you, Felicia, but give me a minute.
Just tell the story, because it is a harrowing story. And thank God we can look and we can look at you right now and know you've healed, which is just so great.
Listen, it was an unsafe deck that I walked out on. It was pitch black. You see that little area there between that little fence? There was nothing. There was no sign. There was no railing. There was nothing there. And it was pitch black out there with little light on the deck. Had there been a sign, I would have seen it. You see, caution. But I walked, and guys, before I knew it, I was on the ground. Oh. I could not move. I was in pitch black. I was unaware that there were wild animals down there. At that point, I was unaware. I was able to wake up my traveling partner, Lori. I screamed. Thank God she woke up. And the Maasai warriors came and got me and saved me.
And so they ended up having to airlift you. You end up in Nairobi.
Doctors Without Borders came and got me.
Yeah.
Wow. Airlifted me out of the Serengeti, took me from Tanzania into Kenya. I had a 9-hour surgery. They said I would be in there for ICU 6 days and 10 days in the hospital. But let me just talk about the people in Nairobi, guys. They took such good care of me. I mean, come on, I was in Pampers, okay? They picked me up like I was a baby. They had to wash me. I could not move. I couldn't walk for 8 months after this. I didn't want y'all to know I had fallen until I was able to tell you how I got up. Anybody can fall. How do you get up? How I fought to get up every day, physical therapy. They would come for 2 hours, but I would work for 8 hours into the night. That girl I was before I fell. Did not know how not to get up. I didn't know how not to get up. My soul was screaming on the helicopter. Whatever this is, Jenny, whatever this is, you'll come back. You'll come back. And I'm back.
Amen. Amen.
Can I ask this, Diva? Had anybody heard this? As much as I stay on the streets or the blogs and on the news, I never heard she fell. I never heard this.
Never
she
heard
said
of it.
a whole word, and I'm over here in tears.
But you see how she said she didn't want nobody to know until she got up and could tell her victory story. Oh, Felicia.
All right, everybody. Good evening. And still I rise. To God the glory, the praise, and the thanksgiving. This woman was nowhere near home. A 9-hour surgery. I don't know what she broke, what she cracked, what they had to fix and repair. 6 weeks. Oh, but what a testimony this story is. I want to kind of break it out because sometimes we touch on this topic here. What's a friend? Your traveling buddy. In that bed sleeping in the dark. But they still know your voice.
Woo!
And they respond. They're not in some deep coma. They hear you. And they respond. And they too are brave. because she sees what's around you. And she doesn't get caught up in fear.
Come on now.
You go out there and say, no, you got to get my friend. That's what love looks like. You know, when you're talking about your friend, that's what love looks like. So the friend is down there, everybody's down there, and it's like, no, you got to get my friend. What did she say? She heard a lion roar. I'm clearing this apartment if I think there's a rodent in here. Are you kidding me? I'm off to my sisters. I don't know what I heard. I had to leave. Okay. And she heard a lion roar. And then she says, well, what a headline that would have been. Oh, yeah. That would have been some kind of a headline. And the other thing was her face. She knew no matter what, God wasn't going to fail her. So she endures this drop in the dark because, like she said, she didn't know she was in the dark and that she was falling. She figures out how to stay aware and alert. She calls her friend. Her friend comes. And then she is helicoptered out. And I want to bring a little intel in here, folks. And I hope you allow me to do that. One of the things I love to do is travel. And so on top of all that other insurance that one may buy, I have an insurance from American Express that covers me in the event of a major accident, like having to be flown out of, be on a ship and be airlifted out. And it's not that expensive. It has gone up over the years. And I've been blessed that I haven't had to have something like that. But when she said that happened to her, I'm telling you, it wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap. 6 weeks on another continent, and this has happened to you. I know when I've traveled, and sometimes you might have gotten a bite or your stomach's a little upset, and you go to the nearby hospital. They don't know no Blue Cross. They don't know no Cigna, no Aetna. They know American Express, MasterCard, Visa, and you have to have a threshold amount. I think at this time it might be about $2,500. And if you don't have that, they do not treat you. Period. So God bless her that she had the faith, the foresight, and the finances to be taken good care of. I'm done.
Appreciate you, Felicia. Come on now. Sebastian, you're up.
This was so hard to hear because I've had travel accidents before. This was so hard to hear, but it's great how she did everything in covert and kept everything low key. We did not know about Jenifer Lewis till these interviews and about these accidents. It's so. But one thing I will say is, Diva, I have a deep fear for mice, let alone a lion. I have a deep fear for mice. It doesn't even have to be in my house. I can literally just hear one on the TV and I just start jumping. Let alone a lion roar. Lion roars shake the ground, y'all. They're strong. They're strong. I don't know how. And thank God for that friend. And this is another thing. You got to see who's your friend, because that friend was a friend. That friend was a friend. When you travel with friends, you got to know that they're your friend in the instance that something like this could happen or worse. This is the good part that I love. You know, with determination and perseverance, almost anything is possible. And she's made a comeback. She's walked again. She can walk again. She can move again. Because she said, she didn't even just say she couldn't walk. She couldn't move. She couldn't move at all. 10 foot, just tripping on the ground has an impact on you, let alone 10 feet to go down. This is a miracle that Jenifer made it. It really is. And I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her family. I'm happy for her friends. this is great that she made it. And Miss Felicia, backtrack on Miss Felicia's thoughts about the travel insurance and stuff like that. People get it. It's not that expensive. Even when you booking your flights or your little resort visits, they have the option. A lot of y'all just don't want to pay that $20, $40 because y'all say, "Oh, I just spent too much money on this flight alone." It's not that expensive. Check yes. Yes, I want to take travel insurance. Yes, you do. Please do. Because you just never know what can happen. This is unexpected. If Jenifer knew this was going to happen to her, I'm pretty sure she would never have gone to the Serengeti. And I will say this though, she needs to stop with the little. They should have told me what was gonna that there was a. They should have gave a little sign or something, because suing don't work outside of the U.S., Canada, and some parts of Europe. So just leaving that there.
No, she is correct. She should have got a tour. She should have got a warning.
She should have gotten a tour.
Up, so she don't got to stop saying nothing. There should be
The
a sign.
way she's saying it though.
Because she got to say how she said, just like she told the rest of her story with drama and dramatics, because that's who she is. And she should have gotten a tour, because that's dangerous.
It is. It is very dangerous. They should have even had a light or something. That's my point. Like, they should have had lights around the infinity pool. I don't understand why there wasn't.
Dangerous. And she's very fortunate. God was with her the whole time, that she didn't hit her head on one of those rocks.
Ooh.
Katrina, you're up.
Hello, y'all. Happy good evening. Now this is a true story of Job. She never gave up on her faith. This is the mother of Hollywood. She played everybody's mother, from Tina Turner to Tupac. She's been everybody's mama. And by her holding on to her faith, having that determination of what she wanted to do, she saw a vision, she put it in focus, and she got it done. Now, that's the thing of moving in silence. Nobody knew her business. She kept her business to herself until she got ready to tell it. That's what a lot of people need to do. I'm just happy that she's okay, that she's better, that she's getting better. And hopefully I know she got a long road to go, but hopefully her road will be short and she'll be back on our screens again. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Katrina. Wayne, you're up. Wayne, you're up.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've been following Jenifer for a long time. I like her. You've been around. You know the movies she's been in. Two things I wanted to say is that, I mean, as popular as Jenifer Lewis is, and you know how some of these actors or star whatever, and their business get out in the street only by them. Okay, and they complain. And here this woman, I heard nothing of Jenifer Lewis. Anything happening to her, so I'm glad she's able to keep it, because what she said she didn't want to say anything. She said everybody fall.
Come on now.
She wants y'all to know when I got up.
Yeah, come on.
So I like that about her, because she's even in her movie, she just had this strong appearance, and she shows up. She shows up, and it's like a lesson too. The other thing, now, Jenifer Lewis, almost all the roles I've seen her play was like somebody's mother. She ain't had not one complaint. I haven't heard Cicely Tyson, when she was alive. She didn't have not one complaint about playing a role that she was old. She always played somebody's grandmother, So, I mean, this is I don't know what's going on in Black Hollywood. I know Taraji has stirred up a whole bunch of stuff, but like, what's her name? Vivica Fox. She said, I'm good. I mean, do you have to be guilty because you're good? Okay, I'm satisfied with my $1 million. Okay. Jane over there making $3 million for the same. Okay, but I'm good. I mean, is it all right to be good? That's the thing, So I'm just glad this is the other side, like they say, Black Hollywood. a good side, seeing that Jenifer Lewis, I mean, she's prosperous. She's 67. She's retiring, from her her accident. It's a lesson.
Yes.
She's just a walking lesson. A teacher. Seems like she always has something to say, even in her joking.
Yep.
So I'm glad for her. I'm glad God spared her.
Yes. Amen. E, you're up.
Well, I'm going to go off the rails because I'm not for the notion of Black women always having to be good. Yes, it's great that she still has everything that she went to this place with and possibly could have lost. Because when you think about falling 10 feet, my mind instantly goes to not only your legs and being able to walk, but your back, your spine. I mean, so many different possibilities that could have happened. And in that interview, she's just as lively and free spirited and um humorous as she ever was, especially when recounting the situation. I'm against the notion that she needs to quit talking about the facility. No, she needs to. And really they should close that place down. And they need to be paying her. It should be called Jenifer Lewis's Resort. That's what it should be called. And I don't like that. Well, first, let me preface it this way. I'm pleased that, she did not want the world to see her in such a down position. And she waited until she was back to almost her full capacity to come out, tell the story, and say, I'm back. However, I do want a lot of Black women to know it's okay not to be okay. And we have to stop putting on this face that we're so strong and we're so brave for the world. Yes, we are strong. Yes, we are brave. Yes, we have tenacity. And yes, we have the strength to overcome. And yes, God has favor over us. But also when things are not good, that's okay too. And I don't think it's any shame in that.
All right. Thank you, E. I think more of her not telling the world. I'm sure everybody in her circle knew. I think her not telling the world is sometimes the people will discourage you and get you off your mindset and your square, so to speak, because they all up in your business. Right. So I think what she just wanted the world to know, I don't need the woe is me right now. Because I'm here doing this. That Jenifer Lewis got that thing in her. She got that it factor. There's not too many people that after the physical therapist leaves that will continue to work 8 hours because they're determined to walk. A lot of them will be laying down in a corner somewhere. Come on now, she didn't want a pity party. Come on, Nika. A lot of them will be laying in a corner somewhere waiting for the therapist to come the next day, even though the therapist told them, listen, you're going to have to do a little bit something when I'm not here. You're going to have to walk. You're going to have to move. You're going to have to do something because this 2 hours I'm giving you is not going to get it. Go ahead, E. You seem like you wanted to say something else before I go to Tay-Tay.
I did very quickly. I agree with those things, and I understand not wanting a pity party. I'm one of those people. I can be very proud. I think, though, when I say that it is, and this is not to you, Diva. I just wanted to clear this up for the chat. When people, yes, it's one thing not to want a pity party. Yes, however, people are always going to find something negative to say, and hopefully my baby brother will not take offense. But even with all of that, even though she took it upon herself to say, no, I was physically fit before, I'm going to get back into shape, I'm determined, I will rise again. People will still find something negative to say. Oh, she needs to quit mentioning that place and quit saying that she didn't get a tour. Whatever a Black woman does, it will never be good enough. Just the way you started this video by saying, no matter what our counterparts do, if you're brown like me, You better do the right thing. So it's nothing that this woman could have done which would have been good enough, because somebody will always find something negative to say. Now, I like Jenifer and I'm proud of her and I am in awe of her resilience. And I hope that, I embody a piece of that and pass a piece of that down to my daughter going forward in the future. But she still needs to own that place and she needs to sue their ass.
Thank you, E. Tay, you're up.
When the doctor tell you can't walk, but you have to prove them they're wrong, you will walk again. That's all I gotta say about that, Diva.
Come on, Tay, but you said a lot. I love it. You said a lot. I caught it. You said a lot. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Prove them wrong. The doctors can say this, but what do you believe? And she worked. Faith without works is dead. I'm sticking with that. Physical therapist came for 2 hours, but when they left, she said she kept working. She was determined. Julius, you're out.
Nothing but God. And she said, "Now I know I'm down right now, but I need to get up." And she was given the pamphlet of getting back up, and she got back up.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said those words, I started to cry my eyes out.
Mm.
Because for a different situation, I related to them words. And when God gives you a pamphlet to get yourself back up, to come back better, stronger, more amazing and fabulous as ever, take heed of it. Take heed of it, because that in itself is a purpose, and you may find more of your purpose in the process. And she said that gem, and it sat with my spirit, and I just have to say, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus. Nobody but God. He laid the pamphlet and she took hold of it. Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Thank you, Julius. I appreciate you. Get up, people. Get up. If I don't even get a chance to show my feel-good story, it was right there in Jenifer Lewis' mouth and her words. Get up. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and roll into the next story because I believe I caught everybody for that story. And the predators are getting called out in 2024. They calling them out left and right. I know some people in their house, they praying, they burning sage, they trying to do everything, saying, please, dear God, don't let me be called out next. Well, George Foreman, he's 75. And back in 1974, who would have thought something from so far back would come back to haunt you? In 1974, a family member said that he violated her, and she's suing. Go ahead and share my screen. So, of course, George Foreman, he denies it. Family member accusing him of SA from 1974. So, boxing legend George Foreman denied the SA allegations made by a teenage family member in a stunning court declaration exclusively obtained by RadarOnline.com. The 75-year-old two-time heavyweight champ confessed to suffering from various health issues and begged the California judge to move the scandalous $10 million lawsuit to his hometown in Houston, Texas area. He denies that. He said, I deny that I ever had a sexual encounter or contact with her at any time, let alone when she was a minor, Foreman said in the type 1-page declaration filed in the Superior Court. The alleged victim slammed the George Foreman grill pitchman with a lawsuit in 2022, claiming a boxer attacked her at his California ranch in 1974 when she was only 15 years old. The woman who filed the lawsuit as Jane Doe claimed the attack left her traumatized because she was afraid to accuse her family members, the document showed. After Jane Doe refused Foreman's sexual advances, Foreman imposed his will upon the unexpected minor and began engaging in immoral and unwanted acts against her, which included oral, the lawsuit stated. This is what he wrote. My counsel has made me aware of the true identity of plaintiff in this action. I adamantly deny that I ever had any sexual encounter or contact with her at any time, let alone when she was a minor. I'm not aware of a single California-based witness that would have any personal knowledge regarding plaintiff's claim that I assaulted her at the Livermore Ranch in 1974. Again, I have not owned the Livermore Ranch or otherwise lived in Northern California in well over 40 years. And I never had any sexual contact with the plaintiff at the Livermore Ranch or elsewhere. In January 2024, I will turn 75. In the last few years, I have experienced various health issues that require medical attention and treatment. As a result, I would greatly prefer to litigate the above captioned action in Harris County, Texas, where I lived with my wife for many years and where I received medical treatment from various doctors. Because I live in Harris County, Texas, I am informed that I am subject to personal jurisdiction of the Texas courts. I am willing to stipulate to the jurisdiction of the Texas courts in connection with plaintiff's claims in this action. I will also stipulate that any SA that plaintiff claims occurred in California, as opposed to Texas or some other jurisdiction, will be governed by the California statute of limitations. And the statute of limitations applicable to any claim plaintiff refiles in Texas related to alleged assault will be told for the period of time after the action was filed in California. So pretty much he wants this case to happen in Texas, but he's saying the only reason why he's asking that is because he needs to stay where his medical doctors are and where he can get treatment. After Foreman completed the essay, Jane Doe was left in terror and could not comprehend what had just happened to her. Because the incident involved a family member, Jane Doe had not one person to turn to and was in complete fear of what would happen to her if she said anything. But in court documents, Foreman claimed he never laid a hand on the teenager. And I already told you what I read with that. And he said he hasn't owned that ranch in years. And he filed the declaration demanding that the case get tossed out or at least transferred to Texas. Foreman even stipulated he would abide by the California rules if they tried this case in Texas, where he lives, because he needs his medication. So listen, that's pretty much the gist of the case, but I will say this. Two other women filed separate federal lawsuits against Foreman, claiming they were attacked and assaulted as teenagers. Foreman denied those claims and accused the woman of trying to extort him for millions. So the family member is not the only one that has accused him of sexual assault. Oh, God, they're coming for the people. Leo, your thoughts?
My thought is this this is not the first time I've heard this about George Foreman. It sounds very familiar. The part that this makes it new to me is that this is a family member that is accusing him, but some woman accused him maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And this woman at the time was a teenager. And if my memory serves me correctly, she was a daughter of a friend, like a close friend of his within that community, or some long-term friend of his. And she was friends. Let me see. No. Okay. All I know and what I can remember is it was a friend. It was the daughter of a friend of his that he violently assaulted her. So this is not a new thing with George Foreman. I don't know if they ended up settling that claim because this was years ago. This might have been about, I want to say, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It was before Me Too. And it was swept up under the rug. When especially in those days, and he wasn't at the height of his career, but he was still a big deal in 1974, and he's a boxer. That's a very violent profession, and he probably was pushing women around. He probably was being a ogre, being a bully, being a predator. He probably was. And if they can get him, I hope they do. He's 74, probably got high blood pressure, diabetes. He probably got all of it.
Oh my God.
He probably got all of it. But they will not let them sleeping dogs lie. They coming for them. They coming for them. And I hope this is a cautionary tale with all these people that's getting their comeuppance from all the ways that they treated women and possibly men, like everybody is disposable just for their use and their pleasure. What them other folks got away with doing when they were famous, you can't get away with that, sir.
Yeah.
Stop it. Oh, you're going to lose everything. These people ain't playing no more. And they coming, and the thing is they coming for us with a vengeance. They coming for us with a vengeance.
Yeah.
A lot of people ain't sleeping at night.
They're not sleeping at night. You ain't lying. Good gosh. In my opinion, your thoughts?
George Foreman has been a hot mess for a very long time. This man has low-key abused women for his entire career, including his wives. I don't really have no respect for him in that manner because this is who he is. And I'm glad these women are standing up and getting their just due because this has been coming on for a long time. Women coming out for years now saying how he's abused them. And it's people that he worked with, children and everything else. And it's just sad because you shouldn't have to do that, especially not when you got a wife at home and children. Because he had 12 children too. So
he has 12?
Yes, 12 children.
Felicia.
Get him. That's all I got. Listen, let me give a little background here on George. George, when he was a very young boy, because he was under 18, he went on to the Job Corps. While he was there, I recall that he ran into some kind of trainer or something like that. They saw he had a skill. And he went on to represent the country, America, as an Olympian, and he won the gold. And that was a big deal. I think it was like in the 60s, in the 68 Olympic Games. And then after that, he began his professional career. And because of the incredible intelligence and abilities and talents of Muhammad Ali, they were able to really grow that profession and begin to make the kind of money that, Floyd makes today. But how George made his money, as many of us know, is with that grill. So George signed on with this company to go ahead and do this George Foreman grill. And yeah, we had one. We sure did. And when he sold his part of the business, he sold it, as they said, for about $135, $40 million.
Yeah, a lot of money.
So let's get to the Jane Doe here. I want to talk to my my younger women there in that middle and back row, because I've talked about this often. We know women get essayed every day, all day, and we now know that's happening to men as well. But there's a very different complex piece when it's a family member. So based on the numbers, when you were giving us the data, this family member is now the age of Jenifer Lewis. And when this happened to her, she was about 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I have spoken in the past about how we keep setting a plate and a chair aside for the predators in our families. It takes great courage to call out that predator in your family.
You better talk, Felicia.
But I believe, thank you, Leo, that yes, somebody, well, wait a minute. We're going all the way back 50 years. She's been tormented for half a century.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a family gathering, we going over to George's because he the one with the money,
Mm-hmm.
the land. And there you are. When is someone going to speak up for me? You've had a miserable life because when you have to family gather, you're quiet and you're silent and you're remembering. But to God the glory, she got the braveness and the courage to say, you know, I am sick of this. And I don't know, but I suspect that George might have been whispering some nasty stuff to her when she would come over. You remember when? He makes a claim about some property he sold it 40 years ago, but he didn't sell it before what she alleged he did to her happened. You've got money. You should have paid her off and settled, and perhaps even apologized, George. I don't want to hear about you can't go from Texas to California. Like Leo said, you got the high blood pressure, the diabetes, you can't see out of one eye, you need a home attendant. Do what Epstein did. Do what Bill Cosby did. Get that support person. Take yourself to California if you don't want to settle. And for those who have been victimized by a family member, I understand the courage it takes. Pray for that courage, that one day you're going to be able to speak up and get the justice that you deserve.
Ooh, you said a word, Felicia. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sebastian, you're up.
This is honestly, it's not surprising to me because I feel as if this is becoming a pattern with not just George Foreman, but with like these huge stars anyway. It's not shocking to me. And it doesn't shock me that it's a relative. It really doesn't. Because think about it. The person is closest to you. Since it's family, you know, this is the breadwinner of the whole big entire family. So he probably believes he can take out his disgusting desires out on relatives and everything's gonna be fine because at the end of the day he has the money. That's what he's thinking. That's what he was thinking. Not now. That's what he was thinking. And at this point at this point I don't even understand why there's even a conversation about this. Is George Foreman. He has the money. He has the whole he has the opportunities to take his doctors to whatever state he has to be going through with these legal things. He has the money, and it's not like his doctor can't prescribe him from out of state for his medication. It's not like he can't hire a company to service him with home health aides. It's not that he can't hire a private nurse to ensure that he takes his meds and takes everything. So this BS about him needing to be near his doctors and medical care and etc. And it's just dumb to me. It really is. I say we have to listen to the woman's story because that's the best thing we do when we have to hear these things out, of course. Till then, that's when I believe we can truly assess the validity of these claims. But there's a pattern here. This has been happening multiple times with him, multiple times. And I wouldn't be shocked if the woman won. I wouldn't be shocked. Or I wouldn't be shocked if something criminal happens. You never know. Maybe he's done something in the past couple of years. They just haven't come out yet. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Sebastian. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah. Well, he's worried about his health and his condition. But were you thinking about her condition and her health at that age? You took her. I'm not saying he took her virginity because I'm not for sure if he did that or not. But you took her innocence because you molested her, allegedly molested her. And she has to deal with that. That's going to play in the back of her head to the day she dies. You don't know what she went through. You don't know if she's suffering from depression. You don't know if she can be a family member. I mean, a mother or anything like that because she might have trauma for what you did to her. But now you worried about not seeing and your high blood pressure and all that. You better eat some carrots, drink some apple cider vinegar, and get on that plane and go to that state so you can be in that courtroom to be judged because you took something away from her. I'm not saying that she wasn't a virgin or not, whatever she was, you still took something away from her that shouldn't have been taken away from her, especially by a family member. That is so disgusting. That is so nasty. And then you doing it and then you acting like you didn't do it. Man, please. You know what you did. That's why you don't want to go back to that state. You know exactly what you did. And I know she probably didn't, kept something, to let people know that this did happen. At least I hope she told somebody. Because holding that type of secret into you, that would destroy you. That is so much toxic that it would just destroy your inside. It would destroy your whole being because you was molested by somebody you thought you loved. That's your family member that you
Essay,
thought.
essay. Stop saying that
I mean,
word.
okay, thank you, baby.
Thank you, E.
Thank you, he appreciate that. You would essay about by somebody that you thought that you could trust and that you love, and to have that turn around and happen to you, that's a whole different ball game. So yeah, he need to get on that plane and go to that court, take some apple cider vinegar, like I said, eat some carrots for your eyes, and get in that courtroom so you can be judged the way that go through what you going through, the same way that girl went through what she went through. That's it. Thanks, E. I appreciate that.
Thanks,
Thank
Boo.
you. Wayne, you're up.
Yeah. My thoughts are that I mean, I'm very aware of who George Foreman is. However, all the things that may have happened in his life, I never kept up with it. So I'm not going to comment whether as if it was true or whether it was not true. However, I will say that if somebody did something like that, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago, and they take it to court and it's proven in the court of law, you pay the penalty. But I can't crucify this man, just based on this, even though I don't know him, I can't even well, he could have possibly done it. Well, and she got to live with this. So, and I'm not swaying either way. That's why I just put it based on if somebody did something like this, I think it should be punished to the full extent of the law. But to comment on this person right here, I'm not, I don't know her from a can of paint, and I damn sure don't know him either. Okay, and nobody's been proven to have told the truth on anything. So that's just my thoughts on it.
I appreciate you, Wayne. Thank you so much. E, you're up.
Well, thank you, in my opinion, for reminding us about these 12 kids because you know where I'm going. Because this fool been married 5 times, and on average, the first 4 marriages lasted for a duration of 2 years. The national average for marriages is 8. So what the
A year
hell
and a
was he
half.
doing? Huh?
A year and a half.
3.5 what?
I said a year and a half.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the average, but of those 4, because some of them was 4 years, some of them was 3, and the last 2 were short, except for that 5th one that's really long. So the average was 2 when I did the math. So I want to know, what was he doing with those first 4 women that made them say, "To hell with this money, I'm out of here"? That's a huge red flag to me because
Cheating on them and hitting them.
that you alluded to, that could have been the case, and I can believe that. That's a huge red flag. Plus, he's from Texas and he's a Capricorn. So to hell with your blood pressure medicine. They have a Walmart pharmacy in every state. And like Katrina just said, eat some carrots and get some garlic extract and some redwood blood flow support. It's not about your comfort right now. It's about the due process. And do you know how many folks travel with high blood pressure? How many people with high blood pressure get on the plane? Even if you don't want to fly, get you an Uber XL. I'm not hearing this from Georgie Porgy right now. And also, let's be clear, Diva, you said it too. It's not just one woman. It's 3 women who have come out. And I keep hearing something in the background. Can somebody, because I'm losing my train of thought.
Go ahead, yeah.
It's 3 women. Now, the last 2 who came out, they took a polygraph test. And from what I read, they took it with one of the world's leading experts in polygraphs. So both women passed the test, alleging of what he did to them, and they asked that he take one too. I've yet to hear that he's taken the test, but like Retribution said in Norbit, just take the test, Georgie. Take the test. Show me what's going on. And the last thing is, he keeps saying he hasn't lived in that house for over 40 years. Yeah, I got that part. But when you were there, what did you do? The year of 1974, that keeps being mentioned. And during that time, there may have been some alleged drug use going on, because that year was the same year that George claimed he was drugged before his fight with Muhammad Ali. And he claimed that was the reason he lost. So it could be some mental things going on with Georgie Porgy right now. And I think we need to keep our eyes open. He need to get his ass on the plane and head over there to court, because you got court, baby, or it's clink, clink.
Woo, 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 woo. Okay, thank you, E. Tay, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna eat clean and lock throw him in the cell and lock the key. Throw the key away forever.
Oh shoot. Okay, thank you, Tay. Tay said he may be 75, but we're gonna lock him up for the rest of his life. I heard that. Julius, you're up.
Bill Cosby did time for his stuff, so why can't Mr. Foreman go through the due process? So I'm not here for the hypocrisy. If Bill Cosby can do time and he was in worse health than George Foreman. So if we're going to talk, let's talk. Like I said in the comment, clutch your pearls, y'all. So, even though Bill's out now, but if he could do time, what's the excuse, George? What's the excuse?
Clink, clink. When is it going to happen? It's due time. Listen, guys. Ooh, the Predators 2024, they're going down. Okay? You will pay for your dirty deeds.
Diva, what's going to happen to Bill Cosby in the next couple of weeks?
I don't know.
Do you think he might go down way too down, like 6 feet down?
I don't know.
I mean, at this point, the man is like 70, like 86 years old, so we don't know the time, the hour, or the time.
That's more than average life expectancy.
But, we don't
Honey,
know.
send him over there to Valley.
Hold on tight, because I got to roll into this last story. Okay, so let me go ahead and roll into this last story with Diddy. It's a lot going on. And because Diddy went too far, he about to take half of the entertainment world down the drain with him. But let me back up. Not really half of the entertainment world. I'm going to say half of the Black entertainment world. I'm talking actors, actresses, and people in the music industry. Some of the people that many people look up to are perhaps going to go down. Now, Diddy could do the right thing, but I don't picture him doing this. Diddy could do the right thing and take the fall for everybody. Epstein took the fall for a lot of people. A lot of people should be donating their money to all kinds of charities because they got to stay free and have their name clean because Epstein took the hit for them all. Who was Epstein, what they say, partner in crime, literally? What's her name? Ghislaine, whatever her name is.
Ghislaine.
Elaine, thank you, Sebastian. You always help me pronounce the words. She's locked up behind bars now. Every chance she gets, she tried to get out. But she was his partner in crime. So Maxwell, thank you, Special K. Listen, because of her, a lot of people are free. She wasn't the only one bringing the ladies to this man. She whispered in one person's ear, and then they became, a person that will go get the people too. Now, I think Felicia educated me the honeypot. I say, listen, E. I went over here. All I had to do was rub so-and-so back. And now I could pay my tuition. I got $3,000. And you got a lot of people in college and a lot of people that's not even in college yet. Because of these Instagrams, these social medias, everybody want to be flexing and living what they think is going to be their best life by having things. They want the Louis bag. They want the Gucci sunglasses. They want the red bottom shoes. They want to go get a BBL. They want to go get this. They want to do that. And they need money to do it. And I'm working in the mall. They see they putting $20 away. They's like, I'm never going to reach my goal. Then Diva comes to them. They're like, Diva, how you looking so cute? You in like, how are you doing this? Girl, you really want to know? You can't tell nobody. I'll bring you in. And all you got to do is rub his back. But what Diva didn't tell you was, yeah, the first couple of times, all I had to do was rub his back. Then the third time, he was filling me up. Then the fourth time, they did this. Then the fifth time, when they was done with me, they told me, if you want to continue coming and making this money, you got to bring someone else. And now I'm broken. I'm traumatized. I'm shamed, but I'm addicted to the money. So now I get another innocent person and I bring them in, telling them half a truth. All you got to do is rub his back with no clothes on. Or with your bikini on. And you thinking for $1,500? All right, I could do that. So I sent you into the lion's den. And now you thinking, man, they did more than that to me, but Diva just said I got to rub the back. Then you come talk to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, girl, that did happen. Don't worry about it. Just go get your money. And now we done damaged 25, 30 girls with a lie so we can get the money. So you got Diddy and all the people in the entertainment world. Every time we hear these stories, it's something to do with a party. It's something to do with alcohol. And it's something to do with young girls. And it's something to do with people being violated. So I read through this latest lawsuit. They amended it. She amended it. Liza Gardner. Because she says her name. There's certain pieces I can't show you because they have addresses in it. And I didn't redact this thing. But I'm going to show other pieces of it. But the thing is, she did an amendment. And her amendment was, stay connected, y'all. I'm not no lawyer, none of that. I just connect the dots every now and then. When she first put this out, and see, if you remember, Felicia educated us, right? Your representation matters. A good lawyer matters. And I told y'all before, you can have a good lawyer and be guilty as sin, and you be walking free. You can have a bad lawyer and you straight innocent, and you be locked up, cleaned up behind bars, and got more time than somebody that did a worse crime than you because you're a bad lawyer. And can I tell you this? Even judges can't stand a bad lawyer.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Tell them, Sebastian. But the judges can't stand a bad lawyer. They sick of them too. They like, know your case law, know your stuff. Get yourself together. Bad lawyer will have you locked up, clanked up, with no chance of parole. So she amended this case because at first she just was, saying who she was and that this happened to her. But see, they're trying to get Diddy for some criminal charges because right now everything is civil, right? They're trying to get him for some criminal charges because now every single case that comes against him, they mention this trafficking. And the reason why she came back and amended this thing is because this is just D with putting dots together. I ain't saying this 10 down, toes down facts. She amended this thing to say that she was only 16. So when you amend this thing to say that she was not of consenting age when this happened, that throws a whole nother monkey wrench in the situation. When I get into this case, y'all, I'm going to read a piece to you where the girlfriend says, yeah, I had sex with them also. She didn't say I was violated. Catch was written here. She said I had sex with them also. Right? So I'm concluding that they had came back and said, listen, you was consented. You did that on your own free will. So the best she got to combat their evidence is that I was underage. I couldn't consent. You're connecting with me? We're going to get into this because I'm about to show some things. And what else did I want to throw in there before that? So, oh yes, I wanted to throw this piece in here. That this is the same lawyer that Rodney has. And the lawyer is that Tyrone. Oh, good gosh. I'm going to need Tyrone to go to the local library. I'm going to need Tyrone to sit down and really hone in on his craft. I'm going to need Tyrone to get under the tutelage of some top lawyers that know how to do this thing. And why am I saying that? Fix it, Jesus. Come on, Special K. Because although this amendment was written a little bit better, there's some stuff in here that should have been left out. So I'm violated. Why would I give details to say that the person that violated me was small, their private area? You adding that for what? So you worried about taking little digs, rookie mistakes. Come on, making too many rookie mistakes. You worried about taking little digs at Diddy and his manhood, but you're going to help his lawyers prove that you was, what are the words I want to use? That you was consenting to this. Let's get into this lawsuit. It's a lot in here. I'm going to go to the pieces that I want to go to, then we're going to talk. Let me present the screen here. Do I have this? Which one is it? There we go. First amended complaint. Okay, so this was amended, right? So it's Liza Gardner versus Sean Combs, Aaron Hall, MCA Inc., MCA Music Entertainment Group, the record company, Universal Records, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, and ABC Corp's 1 through 10. So they looking for the cash. Okay, I'm not going to show page 2 because it gives addresses. So we're going to skip page 2. Let me go to page 3. Okay. So this starts the summary of her complaint. Upon information and belief in 1990, Ms. Gardner, a 16-year-old girl, was in New York City with a friend. Ms. Gardner was invited to New York City by close friends who were members of the chart-topping recording group Jodeci. At the time, Jodeci was signed to MCA Records. So what I'm trying to tell you here is listen to these pieces, right? Listen to these pieces. Because I know she was 16. And just think about all the lawyers and the pieces you can throw in here. Who brought them to New York? In New York from where? Out of state, around the corner? Did you and your girlfriend travel to New York alone to meet a boy group? You're working with me? She was invited by close friends who were members of the chart-topping recording group Jodeci. Last I checked, Jodeci were all males. At the time, Jodeci was signed to MCA Records. Ms. Gardner and the members of Jodeci are all from North Carolina. Did they travel together to New York? But I'm going to continue to get through it. In 1990, prior to inviting Ms. Gardner to New York City, Jodeci was signed to hip-hop artist Heavy D to Uptown Records, a label that was underneath UMG. Jodeci was assigned to Uptown employee Sean Combs, who took on the task of developing the new act. The group was introduced after providing background vocals on the 1990 song Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated. Now, I combed through this thing, but y'all want to hear how ironic they was background vocals for on a song called Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated. Are we together out there? Forever My Lady is the debut studio album of Jodeci, released in 1991 by Uptown Records and MCA Records. The end of the summer into the fall of 1990, MCA held an event at their New York City offices. That's why they have them on this lawsuit. Because you're responsible for the events you give. You're responsible for the parties you give in your home. People can come at your neck at your homeowner's insurance. I watch you come up in my home. Okay, where we at? Ms. Gardner and her friend met Combs and Hall at the offices of MCA Records for this event. In addition to Combs and Hall, Ms. Gardner met singer Mary J. Blige and hip-hop artist Queen Latifah. She's just giving background and saying, listen, I was really there. This is who I met while I was there. After the MCA event, Ms. Gardner records attending dinner with Jodeci, Combs and Hall. Combs and Hall were very flirtatious and handsy with Ms. Gardner and her friend. They offered them drinks throughout the night. At the age of 16, Ms. Gardner was a minor in 1990 and incapable of consenting to drink alcohol. In 1985, New York State raised the legal drinking age from 19 to 21. Towards the end of the night, Ms. Gardner and her friend were invited by Combs and Hall back to Hall's apartment for an after party. It's important to note that Ms. Gardner was wearing a black skirt and a button-up blouse. Now, see, they introduced that for a reason. You know, Felicia, we was talking about another case about one of the other, this one is the Jane Doe that is suing Diddy. And she said, what if she still has that skirt? So I gotta put these things together. And I said, okay, why would they just name this black skirt and this button-up shirt? I don't know. We gonna work this out together, y'all. I'm just thinking, why would they name that? Well, because they said it's important to know. I'll continue. While at Hall's apartment, Ms. Gardner was offered more drinks and was physically forced into having sex with Combs against her will. At the time Combs assaulted Ms. Gardner, she records feeling the side effects of the alcohol. She records Combs mounting her and forcing up her skirt, pulling her undergarments down to the side and forcefully penetrating her. The age of consent for intercourse in New York State was 17 at the time Combs did this to her. After Combs finished doing his business, Ms. Gardner laid in the bed, shocked and traumatized. As she was in the process of getting dressed, Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and forced Ms. Gardner to have sex with him. Ms. Gardner recalls being in immense pain vaginally. In comparison to Hall, Ms. Gardner describes Combs as being, so what that means is she's trying to say his stuff was small in comparison to Aaron Hall. Now, brief conversation with someone in law, and there's some problematic stuff in some of these lines. Problematic to the point where these details can have their lawyers come back at her neck. Now, I hope they did the math and they know, because 16 and 17, so when did you just turn 16 or was you about to turn 17? So they're going to take her birthday. I don't know her birthday. They're going to take when this party happened, and they're going to do the mathematics on that. I'm just throwing information out there for you so we could put the pieces together. Okay. After Combs finished doing his business, she was in shock. Okay. Miss Gardner records being in immense pain. I read that. After Hall finished arguing Miss Gardner, she quickly got dressed and ran out of Hall's apartment. Her friend left shortly thereafter. Miss Gardner's friend shared with her that she too had relations with Combs and Hall in another room. Upon information and belief, when Combs finished with Miss Gardner, he and Hall switched and they commenced intercourse with Miss Gardner's friend. See, in those lines right there, to me and the person I spoke to, it should have been R. You see, what are you doing, Tyrone? He's saying intercourse. It should have been R. Or is the friend saying she wasn't R? I'm throwing this out there, y'all. I'm not victim shaming. I'm looking at the document and we're talking. We got to put these pieces together. Okay? Where am I at? The following day, Combs came to the home where Miss Gardner and her friend were staying. Combs was irate and began assaulting and choking Miss Gardner to the point that she passed out. I'm hoping that the friends were home wherever she was staying and they can attest to this, because that would help her. But they knew, Mr. Combs and Hall, a lot of information about these girls because they knew where she was staying. Combs was searching Miss Gardner's friend because he was worried that she would tell the girl he was with at the time what he and Hall had done to them. And he said to them, right? But I'm wondering why Tyrone didn't put in before that exactly what happened to Liza happened to the girl. Maybe because this is not, I don't know. I'm going to keep going because we got some more stuff to go through. Now, Aaron Hall incriminated himself thinking he was being the Don Juan up on Vlad TV. Vlad TV, if we do, research about how many people on Vlad TV ended up getting cleaned up after they left and because of his interviews, it's a lot of black and brown brothers that after they ran their mouth on Vlad ended up behind bars. So thanks, Vlad, for getting the predators. Hall confirmed Combs present in the room when he engaged in acts. In a YouTube video posted by Vlad titled Aaron Hall claims that Diddy wanted him to make love to a woman, flashback. He says the following, Aaron Hall, can no B out there say that she handled my stuff? My father's a pastor, so my whole thing is that my grandfather being a pimp, it's just like I'm third generation Aaron Hall III. My father's Aaron Hall Jr. He's a pastor, so I just skipped it over like checkers. My whole thing is that if you never heard a girl say that no F up trick S about Aaron Hall, then you understand that's less chill stuff is some real stuff. That was basically from some life experience. Aaron said, now my whole thing is that I just think that girls think a whole lot of guys run after their stuff. You know what I mean? Talk to me. You can say what you want on here. See how he set them up? He like, talk to me, say what you want. And they fall right into the trap. A lot of girls out there with the umbilical cords, them young 1970, 1980s Bs, they tried to go up there with the fresh out of the PS and think they can get like a blank like me, Aaron Hall. I'm a historical D. They F with me. The interview goes, that's right. And if they F with me, it's a big D. Everybody know my son's mother. Everybody know that stuff. Yes, that's Gloria, ain't it? Talk about it. When you put Aaron on it, when you F a B for 3 days and take that B's hand and take them out of the man's hand, then you are a retired pimp. At that time, as soon as I came to South Beach, I just grabbed her. She'll tell you the same story. I just grabbed her and I F'd her for 3 days. Then Aaron got a P with this is a mess. Vlad said, you crazy glue. My whole thing is that if the ends can't handle me, I'm not going to never let them get my last name. If you can't handle my D, you ain't getting my last name. So I've been single for 50 years. He been single for 50 years and he about to go to jail for the last 50. Oh, all right, man. A whole lot of ends out there, from Jamie Foxx to Denzel Washington to whoever. Everybody know me. Everybody know if I say I'm a F to death, I like the F in public. You feel me? Ends can't say nothing about it. Dumb square A ends, them precious cakes, little D ends. I'm like for them ends to get to see how I F. You speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them ends. They've been at my house. They all see me F. They all know I'm a big N. If a B touch my D and she say my D is small, then she's a lying B. Tell her to name that tattoo on my rib that says warning. You get this N, I'm effing you up. The thing is, a whole lot of ends right about taking girls out to shop, taking girls to fly to Dubai and all that stuff. B, close your eyes. Be anywhere. My whole thing is that. Talk about it. If you can handle my D and you can make me still be Aaron Hall without effing rubbing off your mouth, then I'll take you anywhere. Other than that, you back home, B. Hall's disgusting claims are eerily similar, if not identical, to the trauma he and Coles visited upon Liza. Hall has bragged about his his sexual things that he likes to do, and the fact that he engaged in intercourse with minors. In a YouTube video posted by Vlad titled Aaron's Hall on Gloria Velez, I took her and effed her. Hall says, Luke said that he introduced you to Gloria Velez. Aaron Hall, Luke didn't introduce me to no Gloria. We can call Luke right now. You know what I mean? He said in an interview a while back, well, how'd it happen? Look, what I'm saying to you, she was standing up with a Jamaican rapper named Mad Lion. Okay, I know who that is. Big Pump, Fat Joe, Method Man, whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, I grabbed her hand and went upstairs and effed her. Luke didn't never F and introduce me to nobody in his life. I love Luke to death. He just had on... Look, the reason why he's saying he introduced me to her is because it's a good thing to say. Okay, I introduced Aaron Hall to this girl. I took her. Me and Gloria's cool. We got cool in 2 weeks. You feel me? I'm a boss. I ain't going to argue with you about nothing. You an umbilical cord B with effing 36, 35-year-olds. I'm not going to disrespect you, but I'm a boss MF. I love my son, so I ain't going to break probation by effing with you and not being able to speak to him again. You feel what I'm saying? When I speak to an N that got D and balls, he can never say he introduced me to no B. Nobody ain't never introduced me to a bee in their life. I wish they did. The thing is, you can ask Gloria though. It's nothing to do with me. I don't like talking about no man. We both Adam first. The interview said, you know something, I just remember that Gloria had tattooed Aaron's right above her. Aaron's right above her in black, red, and green. Right above her private area. Right above it, a parenthesis with the S, Aaron's. It belongs to. This is just a match. But they go on and on about what he said in this video. At the time he met, I'm going to jump down to this. At the time he met Gloria, Miss Velez was only 16 years old. And indicted in the transcript above, Hall referred to 16-year-old Miss Velez as a puppy. He goes on to say that when he is on the field doing dog training, he sometimes misidentifies an 8-month-old puppy, Miss Velez, for a 2-year-old dog, an adult. He is disgusting, people. I got to stop right there for a minute because I just can't.
Please, Diva, please stop. He is disgusting. He is, this man, I cannot believe that someone will listen to the words coming out his mouth and lay down with this piece of this piece of garbage right here. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't, Diva. What's your question?
You know, I want victims need to be heard. And I want these victims to be victorious, right? I think that all of them need to come out the woodworks and band together. And band together so that the next group of young ladies who are underage does not fall victim to the things that happen in this industry and no longer will fall victim to these predators. And I commend Tyrone for taking these cases, but I need Tyrone to tighten up his game. He can't have a practice run on these particular cases. He needs to get it together. Because there's pieces in here that is written. You doing this whole transcript on Aaron Hall. I get he's a part of this lawsuit. But you proving that somebody is disgusting in their words and saying this. You trying to do a track record because Gloria was 16 at the time. Tighten it up. Because you hearing all that salacious stuff. Tighten it up. Indicate the part where he claims and he tells out of his own mouth about Gloria and how she was 16, and then wrap that thing tight to say he has a habit of dealing with 16-year-olds. It came out of his own mouth. You got too much of this video in there in the transcript from it when I need you to tighten this thing up more so you can get what you want out of this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we did have this discussion about Tyrone with Lil Rod, because I think he does need to streamline his complaints. They need to be more targeted and be more focused on what it is that your suit is about and what you're claiming. So all this salacious stuff I could have done without. I seen a little bit of that clip and it was just so much that I couldn't listen. And back in the day, you know, I'm an old head. Back in the day, I used to love me some guy. Let's chill. You know, it used to be my stuff. You know, I used to like them back in the day. Aaron Hall is disgusting, and he's always been this way. We were young then in the 80s, and I didn't really realize how disgusting these men were. But just like Felicia say, for the young sisters in the middle row and in the back row, stop running down these celebrities and these singers and these rappers. Stop running them down and allowing yourself to be prey to them, because they are predators and they're going to abuse you. Whatever it is that's in your mind that's connected to the song, that's not who they really are.
Right.
That's not who they really are. Thank God thank God I was not that girl in them days trying to hunt down some of these R&B singers and be all in the back and going to the hotel and all this kind of stuff. Because truth be told, that's the reason why in the complaint where it stated that the friend was having intercourse, because I'm gonna just keep it real with you, not me, but a lot of my friends had a lot of older dudes as their boyfriends that were not in high school. And at that time, it was accepted in the 80s. It really was. Like, a lot of my 16-year-old or 17-year-old friends had 20-year-old boyfriends. It's not something that's accepted now, or 24, 25. It could be a big age difference at that time. And nobody batted an eyebrow, did they, Diva? Nobody didn't question anything. If your boyfriend came and picked you up from school when we got out, nobody didn't say anything. So these girls, stop running down these predators, because I'm telling you, you get ready to get yourself in a terrible life-threatening situation that's going to have you damaged for the rest of your life. Listen to the words coming out of Aaron Hall's mouth. The disrespect. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. In my opinion,
first of all, I think it's disgusting and diabolical to hear anybody say the words that was said. But I also gotta say this. I'm so happy for the survivors that come forward and let their voices be heard, because there are so many other survivors that struggle in silence. And I do not want you to struggle in silence, because your voice is power. And you never let somebody take your power away. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid, because wherever God walks with you, he's going to protect you. You got to let your voice be heard. I'm telling you, just hearing all these different stories and stuff, it's been affecting me in a different way. And I just want them people to know you're not a victim for sharing your story. You are a survivor that is setting the world on fire by telling it. You letting your truth be heard, and trust and believe that we see you and we hear you. And so don't stop speaking. Don't stop telling your story, because it's going to lead somewhere.
Thank you. In my opinion, Felicia, you're up.
Get him. That's what I say. Yep. He was born a predator. He came out of his mama's uterus, affected, toxic, and an aura. Yes, he is. I was listening to your reading. Yeah, he just walks up to people and take them off the street.
Oh my God.
He said nobody ever introduced him to anybody.
He said it. Come on. Let me sit up. You said it.
Take it. There ain't no conversation. There's no introduction, no conversation. You show an interest. It's none of that. He sees no need for it. I don't know who abused him. Clearly, he's been abused. Clearly, he was taken advantage of. And he was allowed to behave like a rabid dog on the street. Didn't matter whose wife, girlfriend, daughter you were. He wanted it, and he took it. And he also tells you very clearly, he roughs you up physically. He's torturing you. You're damaged goods. when he's done with you. Damaged. And he's still speaking that way, and he's still behaving that way.
That's what I was getting ready to say, Felicia. He's still doing it to this day. He need criminal charges. That thing need to be off the street.
I'm wondering if he's the third assailant in Jane Doe. Yeah. He sounds like a trio operation. Yeah? Let's think about it.
And he's just like Diddy, right? Because Diddy likes people to watch him do what he do.
Exactly.
You heard Aaron Hall say, you know, they all see me do it.
Correct. And he likes to come in the end, so you watch him. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the third assailant. And what else, Diva, you mentioned? And thank you for the shout out. So now we got a black skirt and a white top. The other one, we got a blue skirt and a white top. There's a lot of similarities here, folks. I hear people and I understand. Let's not rush into judgment. Let's not convict without having the facts. But there is predatory behavior here amongst these people. This isn't the only lawsuit Mr. Hall has. There's another one out there, and I cannot, is the name Dixon? It's another woman out here. And she filed a suit some time ago. So I'm saying, hey, you know what? He's been on the street. He's been protected by this pack of dogs. They do what they do. And yes, I understand. You're saying, well, why would she make reference to the genitalia of Mr. Combs? I think she did because 2 points. She didn't say it was not without consent. We went in the room, we were hanging out, everybody was handsy. I think she could have handled whatever was going to go down between she and Mr. Combs. But then Mr. Hall barges in and brutalizes her. No protection from Mr. Combs, and then he does the ultimate. According to her suit, he goes to whoever she is and he chokes her out. Now, let's talk about who else he choked out. He choked out that Cassie a couple of times. And as I am the only one, I always remember dear friend Carrie had to take the hanger to the head from Mr. Combs and Cassie. So, yeah, he's a violent man. He's a violent predator. And they've been doing it for decade after decade after decade. And yes, can we get the criminal charges, folks? Can somebody come forward and lay down some criminal charges? Woo. And about Gloria Velez, you didn't run a piece when she talks about how she was groomed and how she was assaulted by Mr. Hall. Yeah. He said it was consensual after he dragged her up off the street 3 weeks later. The same violence, the same grooming, the same pattern. I'm done.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Felicia. The Ultimate TV. So why did he mention Denzel Washington? Well, they're going to keep mentioning names. So that, you know, individuals will either come up and speak up so that they won't get incriminated in this whole situation that's going down. So you drop names here and there to let the people know. We know what we know, and you know what we know. So come to us and help us out. Our risks going down with these people when they go down. They could have simply put in there, you know, I met celebrities at this party. Because you can hold your smoking, you know, stuff off to the side until you have to go. And then when y'all behind closed doors, lawyer to lawyer. Oh, you trying to say she wasn't there? Well, she said Queen Latifah was there. She met Mary J. Blige. She remembers this one. She remembers that one. She had on a black skirt. We have the black skirt. She spoke to so-and-so. She went to therapist. Sebastian, you're up.
This is not surprising. Sadly to say it, it's not surprising. We've been hearing these things for the past couple of weeks, months, actually years. Yeah, years. I heard Leo said something about back then there would be people who were like there would be her girls would be like her girls as in her friends would be around like 16, 17, be with like 22-year-old, 25-year-olds and stuff. And she said, you don't see that common anymore. I disagree. In high school, and mind you, I'm only 22. In high school, I knew many girls in my grade were with some college boys or actually adults. And this is happening in the 21st century. Um, who- some were 18, 16 with 25-year-olds. This is a very problematic thing that we're starting to see. And I know the victim said something about Queen Latifah and Mary J. Blige at these quote unquote parties or something. That's where she met. She met some of these people there. I'm honestly shocked to hear those names being at those places, but I'm pretty sure there's probably bigger names that are at these places as well. And everything is going to start come tumbling down and tumbling slowly down. And me and Diva said September is when Diddy gonna get his clink clink, the bar of soap. Well, he probably likes to drop it anyway for his assistants, but the bar of soap, Diva, I've taken back my September. I've taken back September. I'm not doing September anymore. I'm giving 2 months. 2 months. We'll see an arrest. 2 months.
So you're saying, what's this? So April, May, you're saying May?
May, June-ish. I see something.
All righty. E, you're up.
Well, he says they're all N's, big N words with a tattoo on his rib that says warning. All right, well, thank you for that warning, Mr. Aaron Hall. The way Hall talks, you would think he is smaller than P. Diddy because he keeps, priding himself on his manhood. You ain't never met nobody. I ain't never met nobody who could handle me in 50 years, is what you said. But you were upping some girl for 3 days straight. And you were doing it in public. All of that. Then you say no man introduced you to a bee. But right before you said that, you say you like to have sex with bees in front of other men, just like P. Diddy does. So does thou protest too much? So you said nobody introduced you. Did they even introduce themselves? Did you even know their names? Because it seems like there's a lot going on here and there's a lot of substances being passed around. And you say no B can handle the D and that's why you're still single. Yeah, you sound real small to me because I've met some men with some big D's and they don't talk like that. But let's move forward. At the beginning, it was said the right thing is for Diddy, to go ahead and take the fall for everybody. He should do the right thing. No, the right thing is for Diddy not to take the fall for everybody. The right thing is for everybody to be exposed and come out from amongst us. Let them be revealed. All parties in attendance. Sean Combs, Justin Dior Combs, Mary J. Blige. Let's not forget she's had some accusers come out against her in 2022. But let's move forward. Sean Carter, Beyonce Knowles Carter, Cuba Gooding Jr., Carisha Brownlee, Jamie Foxx, Denzel Washington, not the man who's been married for umpteen years and never cheated. Okay, let's move forward. Stephen Jordan, Willie Wade Norwood, Benzino, not you too. Big Meech and the BMF. No, see, it's way more bigger than Diddy. And then you talk about Devontae, Dalvin, JoJo, and KC. No, they're all going to need a few more long tables for the side of the defense because we're about to run out of the room. We're about to run out of space here, and the defendants are about to be falling out into the lobby here. Now, what I believe he was attempting to demonstrate by including the transcript from that Vlad TV interview is that Aaron Robin Hall III is a degenerate, lowbrow, unempathetic, and abusive monster. He is a sex deviant predator. And I would even venture to say that he is an addict. and a narcissist. And that's just my opinion. And in that interview, he said, Diddy watched me make love to a bee. And in the complaint, the woman said Diddy and Aaron took turns between her and her friend. I'm with Felicia. I think he could be the third assailant because now we have a bit more information and a few pieces of the puzzle are coming together. And also in the complaint, the woman said that I cannot remember that one part. I'm going to come back to that. But I just want to reiterate, I understand the significance of including the transcript because it does illustrate a pattern of behavior and is, for me, 2 inches short of an admission. And so this is their MO. They invite the girls to dinner, feed them liquor, offer them marijuana, and then the evil commences. It's going on even today. I've been in the recording studio. They offer all the girls drinks and marijuana. That's nothing new. However, I do wish, to your point, Diva, that the initial description of the night the essay occurred and the next day when the choking happened, that information was just as long and as in-depth as the video transcripts, because I'm looking for dialogue. I'm looking for times and I need the narrative, beginning, middle, and end. No guessing games. No fill in the blanks here. Because how did he get your address? Tell that part. Like there's some holes here. And I understand what he was trying to do with the transcript. And I do believe those things happen. But I do feel like you said, we got to tighten up our paperwork just a little bit because these are questions that the powerhouse defense team, because you're going up against a lot of people, that they're going to poke holes in this story. So we need to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly. Were you shocked when he came to your house? What was your feelings when you opened the door? How did you even open the door? Did he break in? Like, give me the details. So I'm not taking anything away from these victims. I believe what she says happened. I believe that. But I do want this attorney to tighten up his paperwork. And I do still think that this is a winnable case. I do.
Well, civil is a little bit. It's I don't want to say easier, but let me say it's a little bit easier in some cases, right? But again, there's things where the defense attorney, like you said, they're up against some powerhouse people. The defense attorneys can come in and poke holes in this situation. I told you part of the reason why she amended it because there was so many holes that they had already poked, and that's why she came back with I was 16 at the time. And then they want to give us the law that 17 is the age of consent. Well, that's a slippery slope right there because 16 is close to 17. So now I'm going to break this thing down to the nitty gritty. If I'm the other people's lawyer, when is your birthday? You understand what I'm saying? When did this happen? What day were you born? What day did this happen? And I'm going to see if you were 16 or closer to 17 when this thing happened. And how did you get there with the boy group Jodeci? You went and traveled your 16-year-old self who can't consent to nothing. You went and traveled with a boy group to New York City. You understand what I'm saying? So that's part of why she came back and amended this and made sure we all knew that she was 16 at the time, because there was a lot of other things in here that wasn't looking and going too well. Right? Who you letting your 16-year-old travel with a boy group?
Well, it can only go 2 ways. Either he doesn't know this person and they never had sex, or he knows this person and they did have sex. And if he admits to having intercourse with this person, that opens the door to the abuse, the choking, and this, then the third. So this can only go 1 or 2 ways. Either you have to acknowledge you were there and you participated, or you deny the whole thing. And I don't know how you're going to deny the whole thing when they have already mentioned the black skirt and the white shirt.
I don't think he's going to deny. I don't think he was trying to deny. I think they was trying to spin it in another direction, saying that they were consented to this whole thing. And they're going to start with Jodeci. And I'm going to leave it there. They're going to start with Jodeci. Diva, I think they brought those girls under false pretenses. Maybe they had them thinking they were going to become famous singers or something. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, they absolutely did, right? They absolutely did. Well, little Rodney, who is good and grown, said that Diddy promised him Star Island. Now, I'm going to leave little Rodney alone. But that's what little Rodney said in his complaint. And he's a whole grown adult. So for sure they did. But you could promise my whole 16-year-old kid the world. He ain't going. And he definitely ain't going without me. So I know y'all get emotional about this, but I gotta say, where were the parents that's supposed to love and protect that you come to me and you say your friends who are 3 boys are going somewhere in the music business?
5 divas, 5 boys. Jodeci was 5.
Oh, damn. 5 boys and 2 girls traveling out of state because they want to do some music. Well, Sebastian, we got to talk here. So we got to stop with these parents who looking at their kids as meal tickets. You let your kid be straight stupid, but they can play basketball. Can't read, but they the football star. Then when they if they're lucky enough to be part of the NBA, NFL, whatever, they don't know how to count their money, what to do with their money. And the next thing you know, they broke because they paying 17 girls child support. I got to carry on. Where am I? Who am I?
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
It's still incumbent upon the record labels, which is why they are included. If they're minors in the facility working or performing background vocals, whatever the hell they were supposed to be doing, they do have a duty, whether the parents were on their game or not. The record label does have a duty to protect these girls. That part is still true.
So you know what? We're together. I'm not fighting on you with you. Everybody deserves to be protected. But what we do know is that the world ain't going to protect your kids. You need to. And you need to at least try. Right? So that's why, you're not going. You're not going. Where you at? Where you be? What time is it? Who is that? I put on my clothes. I have walked outside in my pajamas with my coat on. No, I got to go meet their mother and their father and know who's up in there ringing the doorbell. And my kid was like, well, my mother said, that's right. Who are they? Because you listen, anything can happen, even if you meet the people. But I'm not going to be in my house talking about, I don't know what they look like. He said he was going with his friend, John. I don't know John, the car, the parents. No. They live over here. I went over there. I met the mother. This what the son like. This who car he got in. My son would send me, who you with? Send me a selfie. We're not doing that. You protect your kids. Because I'd rather have a protected kid with no music career than you suing later and you damaged for life. Because 17 people violated you in one night. Tay, you're up.
I am surprised about Eric Hall when he said his whopper what he did to those girls. That is so disgusting and beyond trash right there. You say everything to somebody who listened to that right there. I said, lock him up in the cell and throw the keys away. That's all, Diva.
Thank you, Tay. Julius, you're up.
This is a mess. This is a mess. It's a disgusting, atrocious mess. Clink clink is on the horizon for this monster.
Yes.
Cause it's like we are in March. And it's now the and it's like I'm feeling the spirit of Biggie. I keep referencing Biggie, like when we talk privately. And I feel like all these lawsuits are his way of bringing about his wrath. I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like this is the wrath of Biggie because Diddy's finally getting his just desserts. And with Biggie guiding these women, he's guiding them from the other side like, I got y'all. Don't worry about it. I got y'all. And I hope we find out more when it comes to his case. Now back to the topic at hand. Sorry, y'all, but I just had to talk about that because that just came to my spirit. Yeah, this is atrocious. This is a egregious mess. And Tyrone, you supposed to be lawyering. Stop lawyering in lawyer. Clean up your clean up your typos. Too many typos. Clean them up.
Thank you, Julius. So, Leah, you said, I know you're playing devil's advocate. I'm not sure if you're talking about me, but regardless of whether or not the girls were out without consent, but that doesn't mean the artist is not responsible. So you're misunderstanding me. Let's be clear. Let me be clear. I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm speaking my truth and my facts. Let's be clear. I'm not saying that any of these evil predators should get away with what they have done if that is what they have done. So I'm being very clear when I say that. But I also want to be very clear. We always like to say when it comes to the victims, this is not victim shaming. This is helping somebody else in the future. Don't allow your child, I don't care if they want to be a dancer, an actress, an actor, be with your child. You know who said their mother never left their side? What's her name? Raven-Symoné. Raven-Symoné said her mother, the whole time she was doing that career until she got older, never left her side. She said her mother said things to her and got on her nerves, but her mother never left her side. You can't Brandy
And
Mom.
look at her to her.
Hold on 1 second. Talk to me, Brown Eyes. Brandy mother too. So it's not to say you can't do this industry. And I'm not saying just because you did it, you wasn't here, whatever the case may be, that should have happened to you. I'm saying protect your kids. Because once they go into unprotected territory, you can't help them. You can't help them. This poor girl texts her mother that, what's her name, Mahogany Jackson, text her mother because she was kidnapped or whatever the case may be. I'm saying protect your kids. Don't let money rule your world. A lot of these people, the kids were in these predators' hands because they was thinking about the fame, the fortune, and the money. No, we good over here. You got a roof over your head. You got food in the refrigerator. We are good. I know you want to be that basketball player. I know you want to go to the NFL, but I don't know that coach. No, you're not going to the overnight football camp because I don't know who that person is. But all my friends are going, I'm sorry, you can't go. I'm sorry. You can't go. My son didn't do sleepover parties. Maybe he's traumatized because of it. I don't know. But guess what? I read the other day, this person, they did the sleepover. The dad was spiking the young girls' drinks. The freaking father. The father. The father spiked the drinks of the young girls at the sleepover. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand sleepover parties anyway. What's the point? No, you go to the birthday party, you dance, you have fun, you blow out the candles, they open their gifts, everybody go home. What is with these sleepovers? This sinister stuff happen. And you don't know if they got a brother, a cousin that's going to be over at this sleepover. I ain't never thrown no sleepover party and my kid couldn't go to one. And he went to the sleepover and I felt bad. I felt so bad because all the kids was getting their pajamas and they were staying and we had to go. Protect your kids. Protect your kids. There are predators out there and they're amongst you. You don't know who they are. Katrina, you're up.
All I can say is they're deviants. They're just walking demons on earth. He's ridiculous. The statement that he's making, he's bragging about it. I guess the cocoa he's doing just went to his brain because he's just ridiculous. I mean, these men are totally ridiculous. Oh my God! I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. You got women that would throwing themselves at them, and yet you still want to R somebody. That's crazy. They're just ridiculous. It's sad, and like I said, they're just walking demons. That's all I got, D. Because these men ain't gonna never. They're not gonna change. They slowed down, but they haven't changed. They still the same.
Yeah, you're right, Katrina. I appreciate it. Special K, you are right. I agree, Diva. But at the same point, our sons have to be protected from women who will lie on them because they rejected. Remember Emmett Till and child. It's a lot, right? We gotta instill with them everything we can from birth to 18. We still instilling them after that. We got to give them some type of foundation, but they got to know that they're going to be protected by us and they learn to trust us and trust our word. No, I don't want you to go because I'm not being mean. I'm trying to protect you and have you understand because I don't want you to get up here and over there and the people are violating you. And know this, we don't need money that bad. We good. We got some food we can eat. We got a roof over our head. When it's cold outside, we warm. When it's hot outside, we cool up in here. You got a bed, you got a pillow, you got some sheets, you got a TV. We good. Don't let money rule you and control you. Emmanuel, you're up.
I agree with everything everyone said. It's crazy to think that these things happen in real life. I mean, it's even you reading that transcript, it was just like so chilling, right? It was like so demonic even. It's just horrible. You are right. Civil cases are generally easier to win, but they're also easier to defeat in a way, So he has the best. He has the best lawyers out there. So I think what you're trying to say is that the other lawyers need to be very strategic and hit a home run. They gotta knock it out the park. It can't be half. You know what I mean.
Emmanuel, because let me tell you, wait, I'm gonna let you finish, but let me say this. See, everybody's going off of Cassie.
Right.
Cassie, her lawyers knocked it out the box. They had a home run. They had videotapes. They had footage. They had exact dates, situations. And everybody knew that she had these videos or whatever. So what could Diddy say? She got the video. She got the proof. She told about the FOs. So her things was lined up in order, wrapped in a tight, packed, solid case. Come on now, Brown Eyes. Thank you. You giving me the words tonight. Thank you. Solid case. It wasn't all of this foolery. It told about the salacious stuff in a nice, tight, wrap package. He made me call the S workers. He said, look on this site. He told me to get the big D's. He told me this. He told me that. He forced me to sleep with these people. He gave me the substances. I had to go to rehab over and over again. Rehab is documented stuff. You coming in with his whole transcript that he said on Vlad, and you got Keefe D telling the courts now behind bars that he was doing a jokey and wanted clicks and likes, and that's why he said all of this stuff that he said on the YouTube channels. Give us some solid stuff. Go ahead, Emmanuel, finish. I'm sorry.
And then no, you're fine. Last thing, again, these acts are just atrocious and heinous, but I'm gonna have to also agree with you what you said. The parents need to be a part of this conversation, because you can't fail at your job and then want to blame the world for the consequences that come for that. So that's all I have to say.
I appreciate you. Let me say this. Now, I can't go through this because I'm not only just overtime, I'm like way overtime. But I want to, this is the connections that this man has. This is the connection that this man has. And I'm not going through this right now. I'll do a video later and y'all can watch it. But you could go to TMZ and read it. Diddy, Rodney Jones lawsuit not settled despite docket update. Despite docket update. Do you think Diddy can go in a court program and update the document himself? Despite document update, right? Somebody updated the document as if Diddy settled the lawsuit with Little Rodney. And just like that, the court docket for Diddy's case has been wiped of any word of a settlement. So it seems the federal court there in New York realized they made a mistake. What? I ain't even going through this whole thing. So at first what happened was it was written as if him and Little Rodney made a settlement. Then they was like, oops, we made a mistake. It was no settlement. Have y'all ever heard of such a thing? That court-appointed people made a mistake on a case and said someone settled and they did not?
I haven't.
Okay. Okay.
And if I remember, Diva, that document was compromised and corrupted, and no one could access it for about 2 days or so.
Come on now, Felicia.
Yeah.
Come on now. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
People allegedly, I gotta say, are afraid to speak. People are afraid to come up because you know why? The people that really been around Diddy like that, they know what this man is capable of. He got somebody in the courts of New York that's going to mess with a document. Remember when Cassie first came out with her lawsuit and it was settled in 24 hours? Do y'all remember that there was an article, I want to say it was in the New York Post, that said the feds they got a case on him and all this other stuff? And then next day, I want to say Eric Adams and a whole bunch of people said it was lies. Nobody in the police know nothing. We ain't saying nothing. We don't know what that person is talking about. When whoever they called the police station and talked to, that wasn't so. Diddy was born and raised in the city in New York. His daddy, Diddy's daddy, was a gangster in New York. And Diddy seems to be a whole corporate entertainment gangster. at the highest level. You mess with Diddy, you mess with the wrong one. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people that seen a lot of things. It's even that Gene Deal, Harlem Hustler. Come on now, giving the words tonight, y'all. Whole Harlem Hustler. And it's all up in his veins, running in his blood, deep. Deep. He arrogant. He's allegedly always pumped up on the substances. He think he's Superman. And the people are getting the courage, but if you get it, these lawyers need to wrap this thing tight. You need to wrap it tight. Clean it up. Tyrone, you seem to have a couple of these cases. I hope you're hearing us. Get your life together. Read a book. You got to do all-nighters, my brother. Read a book and figure this thing out. And instead of you keep amending and running your mouth and saying this and using long transcripts from a Vlad video from YouTube, I'm going to need you to hire a couple of beginner paralegals, because you ain't going to be able to afford the ones that have longevity in this game. Hire you a couple of beginners that are hungry and have them making phone calls to people and saying, do you want to talk? You got to do some work, Tyrone. You got to work. You want this thing, Tyrone? You want to change your name as a lawyer? Do you want your own brick and mortar law firm and have the billboard sign, come to Tyrone? Well, you got to put in the work, my brother. Tyrone, I feel like he thinks just because he has a high-profile case, that's going to build up his legacy. No, brother, do the work. Tighten it up, Tyrone. Tighten it up. He got to do the work. And he's going to have to put out some upfront money to get this thing done. Tyrone, I don't know if you own a home, but take out a second mortgage, hire these people, and get this thing done. Because it's going to start to impact our cousins, our brothers, our sisters, our family members. There's a lot of people that have been hurt by this entertainment industry, and it needs to stop. But it's only going to stop when the core, when we teach our kids at the core that money is not everything. I'm not saying you shouldn't go out there and make your money, but you shouldn't want money so bad that you will do anything to get it, including losing your mind, your body, and your soul. I'm in overtime. I can't even show this darn feel-good story because I'm done. It's too much. It's late. Should I show it or should I close out? What should I do, y'all?
Close out.
Show it. We need some goodness up in here.
Man, close out. Close out. It is you 33 minutes over.
Close out. We saw Jenifer Lewis's good story.
Okay, listen, guys. I love y'all. I thank y'all for being here. If you don't get my point, take this tagline that we have gotten from Felicia. Love and protect your kids by any means necessary. Love and protect your kids.
Not traffic them.
That part. I love you guys. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button going out. See y'all next time. Thank you for being here for Wednesday Night Trending Topics. See you tomorrow, Thursday Night Trending Topics. We'll be back to our regular time at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, y'all. Good night and goodbye.
Do not cheat the diva. Always